Hi, Shira. So what I thought I would do is go through this and screencast what I'm doing to make your syllabus accessible so that you can see it, and then you'll know what to do if you have other things. So the first thing I'm going to do is go up here. Now, you may have a Windows computer, and if so, this is in a slightly different place, but mine is Word for Mac, so I'm just going to show you on this. So this little box right here will pop out the styles guide, and that's what we're going to be using. So you actually have, it looks very organized, what you have on your syllabus, which is generally the mistake people make, is that they think, well, it looks organized, so it must be organized for a screen reader. So I'm going to turn on this button that says Show Styles Guides, and over at the right, we'll actually be able to see what a screen reader would see. So the first thing it would see is that it has a top line. That's a little bit of a misnomer, because top line just means like the top of the thing. It doesn't actually mean like what the title is. So sometimes what people would do is skip this and not look at that or understand it. We're going to want to change that then to heading 1. So I'm just going to go ahead and change it now. And it will mess with your font a little bit, so I'm just going to change it to something that approximates that. So it's up at the top. I think we could put a box and a shape over it if you are really dying to have that. But now it's listed as a number 2, which means this is heading 1. That's the title. Now, when we come down here to this bolded one, this is another thing that you're going to want your screen reader to be able to read. So I'm going to come down here, and instead of styles in use, I'm going to go to all styles. I'm going to scroll down and make this heading 2. So now this is now in blue text. I'm just going to make it back in black, and there it is. Now, it looks pretty much the same as it did before. Let me see if I've changed the font. I have, but I can change it back. So I will do that. So now, instead of it just being bolded for people who have sight, we actually have a number 7 there, and it would be something that they would go, ah, great, this is a heading 2. So now the screen reader says heading 1, the Peabody Awards. And if they want to just start flipping through your syllabus, let's say they're trying to find required text, we go ahead and make all of these heading 2, and then when they come down, they start looking for something, they can say to the screen reader, read all of heading 2. And it would say course description, course objectives, required text, and then they would say stop. And then it would read all the text underneath that heading. So that's what makes it really helpful. I'm going to change these back into what you had them before. There's several other things that you can do in this particular style guide sheet, and I want to show you those as well. So like if you ever had something, I'm looking for anything that you might have that would be underlined. So like right here, if you have it underlined, you can actually change that to be strong or emphasis, or you know, that's up to you if you wanted that. It's over here, emphasis and strong. So like if you had something that you wanted to place emphasis on, like in a block quote, you know, when we're writing an article, you could use these, and then the screen reader will actually say emphasis, so that they know, ah, this is the thing, because they can't see the italics or the bold type, if that makes sense. You don't have to, and certainly not for titles of books. That would be perfectly fine. Now this is good. 26 means that this is a bulleted list, which is perfect. That's exactly what you want to see on something like this. So let's keep scrolling down. Now we're at grades. Now I have to think about this and look at this. So we have to go back. We're going to make this heading 2, and I want to make this black and Cambria. And same thing with grading scale. I want to make it heading 2. There we go. Now we have a little problem that this is actually underneath a different moniker. So I'm going to go back up here and click normal, because that's what it should be. And now you'll notice the color has changed. All right, so go down here to discussion questions, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make that a heading 2. And same thing with discussion responses. You need to make that a heading 2. Now, in here, we have a very interesting thing that we have one weirdly bulleted list right here. So I'm going to come up here and do that. There we go. And that fixes that little problem here for a screen reader. Otherwise, the screen reader might jump from this number 7 down to this 26, and then it wouldn't go anyplace. So I have to get rid of that one. So now I'm going to do this weekly quizzes. Online course policies, same way. Bear with me, there's one more thing I'm going to show you. So now that we've done the online course policies, which I know you're going to have a whole area for, now we're going to do the weekly schedule. So for this one, that's going to be a heading 2. And now we're going to get into some things that are going to be heading 3. So this one is in its own kind of way. It's in body text. We're actually going to change that to normal. We have one more. Here we go. Okay, so now these weeks, I'm going to make these heading 3, because then thinking about that way that it organizes things, once it got to 7, you could say read underneath it and it would say week 1, week 2, week 3, and it would go down the heading, and they wouldn't have to, if for example, if they wanted to know information about week 7, at the moment they could skip to the weekly schedule, but they would have to listen to all of this information before they got to week 7. So the very easy way of doing that is going down here, going to heading 3 and clicking that, and so I will go through and do all of this for you, but I don't want to waste your time with the rest of this. So I just wanted to show you, give you a picture of what accessibility looks like and what you need to do that, and hopefully this was helpful.